E is the first name. Going once? Oh, is it Maya? Oh, sorry, it looks like M-A-C. Thank you. Maya, I apologize.
Thank you.
If you please see your name and record for address for record.
I'm Maya Salam, and I live in Charlotte. And my issue that I have with regarding today is graduation, particularly at Charlotte High, the school that I'm attending. I feel that the place that we have, that we are going to use for this year's graduation is not only going to be able to hold less people than we had before, but not be as accommodating to other people as well, such as parking space and being able to arrive on time, because from what we are gathered so far from our schools is that that there will be a second room to be able to watch the ongoing graduation from a different room, and I don't think that's right. I feel that people who travel far, not only to come see my efforts that I put into, should be able to see me on stage getting my diploma from, the seats that they've traveled to come to, but then to be put into a different room to only watch on live stream when they could have saved their money from flying or driving long distances to just stay at home when they could have watched online as well. I feel that it's very important to me, considering my sister that I've not seen in 3 years is coming, and she is not also really knows the area as well, because we've never lived in Port Charlotte before, and she's only been to my school a couple of times in the past, and I think it's very important that not only we have the graduation at our Charlotte High Stadium, that there would be more parking, more accessibility, more familiarity with the area from residents who have gone there to pick up their children, who've been there on multiple occasions for many other events. But there will also be more seating and more, how do I describe this? More ability to arrive, knowing where they're going, knowing where they'll be able to be going. And not only that, but I feel that people might bring up that weather might be an issue, considering that the stadium is outside, but I don't think that will be an issue, considering that for the past 2 years, and I've attended last year's graduation, was outside as well. So if there is an issue with weather, then we'll know beforehand as well, and there would be no problem either rescheduling for another day before or, a day ahead. But that is my issue that I have today, and thank you.
Thank you, Maya. We appreciate you coming today. Next up, we have Laurel Kalin. And Laurel, if you please state your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Laurel Kalin. I'm a senior at Charlotte High School, and I'm coming here today to talk to you about graduation. We as seniors deserve to have our families at graduation. We have spent nearly our entire lives in school and spent all of that time working towards this moment. We deserve to have our parents, grandparents, siblings, and anyone who has supported us through life want it to be the biggest day of our life. We as the class of 2023 have not had a normal high school experience whatsoever. COVID took away our freshman and sophomore year, and the beginning of this year was taken from us due to Hurricane Ian. I am asking that you don't take away the opportunity from our families to see us walk across the stage, because if you do, along with many of my fellow classmates and many of their families will be devastated. Graduation has been scheduled for May 16th at the Charlotte Harbor Event Center. The max capacity of the entire building is 1,800 people, and the max capacity of the largest room being 1,517. There are roughly 420 kids in the CHS graduating class of 2023. If every student graduates, the max amount of tickets each student can receive to stay under capacity is only 2 tickets. We can roughly estimate another 50 spots for CCPS or CHS staff attending, then additional event staff, police, etc. There are 240 on-site parking spots, of which 10 are handicapped. This is not an adequate number of parking spaces for an event of this size. The closest off-location parking is PG Waterfront Hotel. There are roughly 239 parking spaces, exempting spaces closer to the building that have been blocked off due to damage from Hurricane Ian. We also need to consider that this parking lot is shared with Hurricane Charlie's. I went to Mrs. Jamie Eister, our career specialist, who is in charge of senior events, with the question, how many tickets will each student receive with graduation being at the event center? Eister stated she was not sure. When I confronted her with the largest room's max capacity of 1,517, Eister responded that graduation would not be like in the past, it would be different this year, and expressed that the school has done everything they can and the event center is the only option for graduation. When I asked about having graduation at the Lee Civic Center located in Fort Myers and where CHS graduation has been held in the past, ICER said the school had looked into the Lee Civic Center, saying that it was condemned due to damage from Hurricane Ian. I myself called the Civic Center and spoke with a woman named Glenda who confirmed they are open and scheduling events in their building and that has not been condemned. Mrs. ICER stood there and lied straight to my face. Speaking to Glenda, she did tell me the bleachers are not usable, but they have floor space for chairs. I asked how many seats would there roughly be if there was a stage, and she told me that off of the top of her head, 2,500 to 3,000 seats. If each student gets 5 tickets, that is roughly 2,520 people total, leaving spots for CCPS and CHS staff, police, event staff, etc. And the Civic Center also has over 2,300 parking slots. Another option for graduation would be the CHS football field. There are 12 marked handicap spots for the football field parking lot, and in total on CH grounds there are 1,287 parking spaces. The bleachers are able to hold 4,050 people, so it would be roughly 9 tickets a student. The school also has mini bleachers that can be set up at the ends of the field, as we use those during the 2021 school year for marching band. You also have the option for people to bring their own chairs if needed. The stadium would be the most cost efficient for the school. With graduation mid-May, we are not yet in Florida's rainy season, and weather should not be much of an issue. Additional places for thought are Cool Today Park in Northport and Suncoast Credit Union Arena in Fort Myers. Thank you for your time, and please take the words I have said tonight into consideration. Thank you.
We appreciate your time. Next up, we have Tammy Kalin. If you please state your name and address for the record. Do you just want to say ditto to that?
That's my girl.
Alright. My daughter recently returned to Charlotte High as she wished to graduate from Charlotte and have a traditional graduation ceremony. It was recently announced that the Charlotte Harbor Event Center had been selected for this ceremony. My daughter came home very upset and devastated as she knew the facility had limited seating with a maximum capacity of 1,800, a main room with 1,517 and only 240 parking spaces. This means that half of her family will not be able to attend, and she is heartbroken. She is now placed in a position of having to pick and choose which family members will be attending and those who cannot. No student should have to choose which siblings or which grandparents get tickets and who doesn't. She went to her senior advisor who had informed her about the Lee Civic Center. It was closed. It is in fact open. The Charlotte Sports Complex is closed. And then she inquired about the capacity of the Charlotte High School Stadium, which will provide plenty of seating and adequate parking. Both venues are far more suitable and can accommodate families and without all the problems of the Charlotte Harbor Center. There's absolutely no legitimate reason to hold a graduation at a venue that is not big enough and has serious insufficient parking when other options are available. Law enforcement will be needed to assist pedestrians and the traffic nightmare of that many people and vehicles within that vicinity. The automated message stated each student would receive up to 4 tickets. Either one of those tickets includes the student, which means 3 tickets per family, or they will exceed capacity by several hundred people. I have raised 4 children, and watching my child step onto the stage to receive their diploma and then step off the stage ready to begin their next phase of life as a young adult is a day of celebration for families. As a mother, I cherish that very special day, and I found myself holding back tears. I can't imagine as a parent not being in the same room to take pictures, videotape, and share the love and joy within a family and loved ones, all who have had been an important part of that child's life. And what will happen when the main room is full and parents are directed to another room to watch a live stream? Are you prepared for parents to react emotionally or cause a scene and then need to be removed? Imagine going to a concert with your ticket and then having to be outside to watch a live stream. It's ridiculous. We will see many who will arrive early to wait in line to ensure they get into the main room. Will there be a mad rush into the building? May there be injuries, fighting over seats? My daughter and our family just want to attend her graduation. While this board did not make the decision to hold graduation at the Charlotte Harbor Center, all of you can still help these kids and these families.
Okay, thank you. All right, next I have 2 names on one card, but we'll allow one person up at a time. So it's Jeff Lintz.
Thank you for giving me the time to speak before you. My wife and I are the parents of Colton, Dakota, that were viciously attacked on their school bus on the 19th of January. Our twin boys are 12 years old, 7th graders at LA Angel Middle School. As I waited at the school bus stop for the return of my sons, I received a phone call from my son Dakota, and I heard in his voice a lot of distress, and he was breathing really hard, so he said in basic few words that he was in a fight, and I just told him that I was on my way, so I used my app to locate where they were at. And when I arrived, there was 3 CCSO patrol cars and an ambulance, and my heart sank. Sorry. It's really tough. So, my boys are standing in a ditch holding ice packs on their heads, and there's a dozen first responders there. And I find out that almost 16-year-old and his brother beat the crap out of my boys for no reason. As a matter of fact, my boys were blindsided. I had to take my boys in for CT scans, and they were put on 36-hour supervision. And we're now considering to further into counseling, and I'm not an overreacting parent, make it sound like this was tragic and that this is just an average, everyday fight, because I'm really upset about this whole thing. If you would see the video of my boys, every one of you would probably be in tears as well, because I'm just reliving all of this, and it's really hard for me. In the video, you can see the hatred and anger that these boys had against my kids. And from now, where we're at with other kids talking, they're all, for the last few months that these 2 boys have been put in our schools, have been deathly afraid of these 2 boys. They are bullies. They go around picking on kids every day. And my boys are 12 years old, and obviously I'm a pretty good sized guy, so they are too. And I've always taught them to stand up for themselves. And so that's what they did. They were getting bullied, and one of my boys stood up to them and said, enough is enough, and he got sucker punched and knocked out. And then he got pummeled while he was out. And then my other boy came to the rescue and got sucker punched again, and down he went. And the other brother jumped on my son while the 16-year-old jumped on my other boy and pounded him. So both of my boys ended up scarred.
Mr. Luntz, if you could finish, please.
Okay, thank you. See you. Swear.
So we have no more cards, so we're going to move into the consent agenda. Mr. Superintendent.
We have 16 routine